talking about
elections. What is your civic responsibility? What are you supposed to be doing? What are you not supposed to be doing?
Should I get my PVC or not?
Please,
what's my business?
Things
APC,
like that.
PDP, ESCOWA, which party, all those issues. Where do we stand as citizens of our country?
Responsible citizens, please.
I think we should put that caveat.
Yeah. It's good for you to ask the question, where do we stand as citizens? Because it's easy for you to blame the government. It's easy for you to sit down in your own corner and say, oh, they're not doing something. They're not doing something. I was listening to someone today and she was telling me that she's been wanting to write a piece, about the whole election process, the upcoming election process. But she's not been able to do it because she was feeling like a hypocrite because she had not yet gotten her PVC. So she told herself that she was not going to write anything until she got it. And so she said that when she went there, obviously, you're going to work and they don't come on Saturdays. You have to be the one to take time out of work. So she was like, okay, fine. If I really mean that I want change, I have to go the extra mile to fight for the change I'm looking for. So the excuse of saying, oh, well, I'm going to work or I'm
I got mine, I didn't really have any issues getting mine and all that and all that. And thankfully, I still stay in the same area. But if not, I know someone that she wasn't in her area, and if she still hasn't collected it, but if she has to go back to that place. But
these are the things that show that you're really passionate about the change, because it's easy for you to give excuses. It's very easy. People do that all the time.
And I was listening to the INEC chairman and when he was giving before the postponement, and it's clear that they've done everything reasonable to make it happen within within the sector, within what we have to deal with in Nigeria today. And I think, when he was speaking at the Senate and was talking about the use of card readers or not, I was just saying, everybody should just work with what they have. If this is what it is, if you had to make that sacrifice to go home and get yours, I was telling my sister that mine requires me going to Agbara to go and get mine, and I've scheduled how I'm going to do it, because it doesn't make sense for me to be sitting down and saying, oh, don't do this, the government is not working, and I don't go and get my PVC. That is within today's framework for the election, that is the legal type, that's the legal tender that you have to present to enable you vote. And if you really want to vote, if you really want a change of the process, if you really want
your voice to be heard,
if you really want to affect things, if you really want to show, because the truth is we're coming from a system where we said, oh, it doesn't matter if I don't vote, if I don't do anything. But even the government is trying to preach that this election will be free and fair.
I think this season, this particular election, a lot of Nigerians are involved.
They're involved.
They're more passionate. They're more willing. I remember that 2 years ago. I said 2 years ago. Sorry, in 2011. I remember that people actually just felt like, I won't vote anybody that they vote. But now you see people. Yes, I know that being on Facebook, social media is not enough, but I can see the passion in people, the concern.
People are more interested.
They are more interested.
People are more interested.
And I think that they're more even aware.
People are more aware. People are actually
more
ready
educated.
And people are actually willing to take action, which is why a lot of people are actually hunting down their PVCs no matter what and all that. So people actually are, even though sometimes the zeal may be misguided, because people are actually going to the extent of asking who are you going to vote for, and I personally think that's nobody's business who I'm going to vote for. Is it compulsory there's violence during elections? Because it has become the norm. We hear there have been shootings all over the place.
About 6 fights this week alone. A man was running late for work and he took a bike and he ran into an election crowd, like various factions, and they were obtaining people, they were stealing things from them, and they stabbed him with a knife and left the knife in his body.
Oh my goodness.
He's recuperating now, so he's not dead. And we've had another party, they said 5 people, they just entered the party and they started to kill people. One of my friends was saying that he saw them, he just got on a bike and started running. I was talking to one of my bosses at work, and she said election timing some developed countries. For her, like she was in America and in England for a bit, and she said election time in America is family reunion time. People travel to go and sit down and watch it together. Like maybe in your family, you have divides. You're Republican, you're Democratic, and then you go and you say no, this person is going to win.
Yeah,
you know,
I think
that's what it should be.
Yeah, there shouldn't be any division. As far as I'm concerned, we all are working towards the growth of Nigeria.
Are you sure?
But we are only
Are you
taking,
sure?
No, that's the idea of politics or of democracy. But we are taking different. We all have different ideologies of how we can get there.
Yes.
But the thing is that it's one common goal to get to a place of betterment. So I don't see a reason for violence. Your opinion is different from my opinion, but that doesn't mean that you don't mean well in your opinion.
Yes. But unfortunately, people, we haven't gotten to the point whereby we can say that, okay, you are on the left and I'm to the right, and even though we're to the left and to the right, we haven't got
to get to the top.
Yeah, we can't respect each other and like, okay, like you said, we are all aiming for one particular goal and all that. We need to get to that point. And like I said, when people ask me who I'm voting for, because I really don't believe it's their business, I don't really like to answer that question, because I'm like, what? It's not your business, number one. Number two, how is it going to affect you who I'm voting for? Is it that so that by the time I tell you bring out a knife and you want to stab me or what and all that? The thing is that we should be able to agree to disagree.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm really sick and tired of being on social media and seeing people curse and abuse and insult another human being because of what?
Even forget even like cursing and abusing ourselves, cursing and abusing the candidates too, and then we start from there. We now start you that you're following blindly. But you know,
This
all
kind
of
of
those things don't even
behavior
take us
is just
anywhere.
exactly.
Half of them, you will do the poll today. Half of them don't have PVC.
Yeah.
So what is the point of your argument? What is the end of your discussion if you're not eligible to change the process? You're not eligible to effect that grand plan that you're advocating. I think the truth is, I was talking to one of my dad's friends, and he was saying that if you do a poll, half of us that work professionally, go to work, maybe like, are quote unquote the bourgeoisie educated people, we do not have our PVCs. But if you go to like the market,
They have it.
all those they have, and then we have a problem when maybe our local government chairman is someone that's not educated. He has done what he needs to do to get into the system. If you want to change the system, you do what you need to do to get in, get your legitimacy, and not just sit down making arguments.
Your PVC.
Yes.
Understand
Don't
what's
be an
going
empty
on.
barrel making
Yes.
so much
And
noise. I think this is the starting point. We've had past elections that nothing to write home about, but this is a chance to rewrite history. This is a chance to start. Obviously, this election is not probably the best or going to be the best of the elections we'll ever have in Nigeria in future times.
Definitely isn't.
Exactly.
It definitely
exactly
isn't.
because I know that there are many things that talking about the PVC wahala now. People are even saying that although the reason for the election being postponed was the security chief saying that they can't provide security, but it's also a blessing in disguise for INEC to polish up their work and get people. Because I was talking to someone today and she said to me that it was God that answered my prayer, because I said I must vote. But every time I go to the local government area, they're always giving me one that what happened was a whole street, like 2 streets down, none of them have gotten PVC.
Why?
I said why? Said that it's an said the printer has not printed it.
But they have like numbers that they've published.
No,
They have numbers that they've published, and people can report.
She's been going there all. In fact, her street. So if they had voted, we had voted on the 14th, everybody in 2 streets who are eligible to vote couldn't have voted. So she was very excited. So yes, we might have opinions about maybe we shouldn't have postponed, we should have postponed. It's neither here or there. They've postponed. Now you go and pick up your PVC and vote, for goodness sakes.
Yeah, and even if you're not voting, advocate for peace.
Yes.
Even if you're not
the
voting,
conversation
advocate for
responsibly.
peace.
I've been talking
Yes.
about this responsible thing since I don't know why, but the thing is that you can actually have a sane conversation, and it doesn't, like you said, even if someone is insulting, you can actually stir the conversation another way, so that the person will now see reason with you and know that all this name calling is not.
But the thing is, where's the maturity?
You know what? For me.
Why must we argue over everything?
Because eventually,
we argue over religion, argue over.
What it boils down to is that when you start insulting and abusing people, you really don't have a leg to stand on. You don't have the facts. You don't have the clout. You don't have the substance.
Just give your opinion. Give your opinion and walk away.
I see from a different point of view.
Okay.
Let's look at where we're coming from. We're coming from a society that most of our history was military rule, where it was yes and go, and so we are finding our voices as a nation, which is a good thing. Have all the countries developed and not developed.
Are we finding our voices?
We are finding. No, we are finding our voices.
We're screaming on top of our voices.
It's a baby when a baby comes out, baby
blah,
cries.
blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, so we're finding our voices. So it's a good thing that we are where we are.
Yes.
Because from that babbling, screaming, and all of that, we would find sanity.
I wanted to make one more point before we leave. It's just out of curiosity. So we all know that our voters card, our PVC, is actually, like you said, are intended to be able to. It's a power in our hands, really. But how do you get your integrity not compromised? With this rice and beans campaign that is going on. The thing is, I find it very intriguing because so many people who are hungry or don't have that, educated mindset about what campaigning does to the human psyche will just feel like, oh, you know what, they care about us, they're giving us rice and beans, let's go on. And they might end up throwing away their vote when they were originally inclined to vote for someone else. So I'm just curious, I know that it's a neither here or there answer, but where does this rice and beans campaign, how far does it take us in Nigeria?
Okay, here's my take. A man who is hungry thinks of his stomach first. The truth is, we are rice and beans right now.
But what about integrity?
It really has nothing to do with quote unquote integrity.
Because the truth is, you're selling your vote.
No.
See, I can collect the rice and
In
beans.
my village, they are renowned. They are renowned for taking everything they are giving and doing exactly what they were instructed to do. So they will take everything you give. As a politician, you have many politicians that say, these people are scam artists. They'll collect all the money, collect all the rice, collect all the things, but they will still vote for the person that they intended to vote for.
I'm happy to hear that, because I was just thinking the other day that, okay, after all the tom and all the
credits
and everything that's going on, and then at the end of the day, I'm thinking, am I going to go and vote based on my guilty conscience that I've already collected?
Did you collect rice?
Yeah. Nobody has given me rice, but
will you collect rice
if I see? But the truth of the matter is, I really feel like I said, I was a bit skeptical of that. How we have this conscience of, it's not fair to collect their stuff and then go and vote.
It's a lie. It's very right. Collect it and vote for the person you want to vote for.
But where did that come from? Because I don't see it in developed nations.
It happens. Theirs is more sophisticated now.
Okay, what they do?
You build the roads, you build the clinics.
But that's what we need.
It's called lobbying. It's called lobbying. Only is very right and ours is very basic.
That's what we need.
Yes. Look, that's the way they started, and that's the way it has continued. But like I said, theirs is more sophisticated and all that. But really, if a candidate is coming out and he brings out a manifesto and he goes around and he promises and he doesn't deliver, and then next time around he comes and he still wants to give you some stuff, and at the end of the day he hasn't performed, you think they're going to vote him in again because he didn't perform? They definitely won't. But the thing is that everything is at different levels. They were the rice and beans stage too. But right now they are, the stakes are higher and all that. So let us take if you want to take the rice, whoever wants to
take
take
the rice, but vote for the person.
Yes.
And get all the facts first. Don't listen to other people, because as far as how salvation is a personal thing, faith is a personal thing. You voting for someone should be a personal thing. So sit down, read about this candidate, do history, do research. Be convinced from your innermost man that this is the person. And because the thing is, it's easy to be influenced. This person is saying, and when you listen to someone, they make sense. Listen to that person, they'll make sense, and then you don't have a voice. And you don't have the whole essence of having a voice is being informed. Be informed, understand why you're voting for someone, and be able to back up that person in future. Because if you vote for someone and the person starts to mess up, you can't say you voted for that person, so you have to stay with that candidate. So you have to be very careful.
And